Hello, welcome to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou, and today I want to share with you some more award-winning Christian romance books. This is part 2 of this video. I will link the first part in the description and maybe in the cards so you can see some more of the romance books that have won awards in the Christian fiction category. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you can recommend any of them, or if they sound interesting to you. If you find this video useful or interesting to you, then please do give it a like. And if you would like to see more videos about Christian fiction books, or the books that I'm reading personally, then go ahead, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let's have a look at the books. Close to You by Cara Isaac won an INSPE Award in 2017. A disgraced scholar running from her past and an entrepreneur chasing his future find themselves thrown together and fall in love on a Tolkien tour of New Zealand. Alison Shire, yes, like Where the Hobbits Live, is a disgraced academic who is done with love. Her belief in happily ever after ended the day she discovered her husband was still married to a wife she knew nothing about. She finally finds a use for her English degree by guiding tours through the famous sites featured in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. By living life on the road and travelling New Zealand as a luxury tour guide, Alison manages to outrun the pain of her past she can't face. Jackson Gregory was on the cusp of making it big, then suddenly his girlfriend left him for his biggest business competitor and took his most guarded commercial secrets with her. To make matters worse, the Iowa farm that has been in his family for generations is facing foreclosure. Determined to save his parents from financial ruin, he'll do whatever it takes to convince his wealthy great-uncle to invest in his next scheme, which means accompanying him to the bottom of the world to spend 3 weeks pretending to be a die-hard Lord of the Rings fan, even though he knows nothing about the stories. The Dandelion Field by Kathryn Springer won an INSPE Award in 2016. This handsome firefighter makes a living coming to the rescue, but Gin doesn't need a man to fight her battles. After Rain's dad walked out, Genevieve Lightly never lived in one place too long, a rambling lifestyle that defined her daughter's youth. When their car dies in Bannister Falls, Wisconsin, Gin promises Rain they can stay until she finishes her senior year of high school. Gin will do anything to make sure her daughter has a bright future, a future that's compromised when Rain reveals she's pregnant. The Wedding Chapel by Rachel Hauck won a Christie Award in 2016. An old forgotten chapel holds the key to love and forgiveness. Retired Hall of Fame football coach Jimmy Westbrook never imagined anything would come of his labour of love, building a wedding chapel for Colette Greer, the woman he fell in love with in 1949. But now a realtor wants the land the chapel sits on, and he sees no reason to hang on to the past. Photographer Taylor Branson is trying to make a life for herself in New York. Leaving her hometown of Harts Bend, Tennessee, she put a lot of things behind her, including her family's string of failed marriages. When she falls head over heels for Jack Gillingham, a top ad man, their whirlwind romance and elopement leaves her with doubts. Jack, while genuine in his love for Taylor, can never seem to find the right way to show her he really cares. So I think this is a dual time period story. Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Beth K. Vogt won a Carol Award and a Christie Award in 2016. Paramedic Vanessa Hollister has put her adolescence behind her, including the unwanted label of being the new kid in town over and over again, thanks to her father's military career. She's overcome what her father calls the biggest mistake of her life and is planning an elegant destination wedding in Destin, Florida, with her new fiancé, but will the reappearance of her first husband from her What Were You Thinking teenage elopement disrupt her dream of an idyllic beach wedding? As a professional storm chaser, Logan Hollister is used to taking risks. However, a reckless decision during the last tornado season has him questioning the future of his team, the Stormmeisters. Coming face to face with his ex-wife 8 years after their divorce compels him to confront his greatest regret, losing Vanessa. Does their past give him the right to interfere with her future? A Broken Kind of Beautiful by Katie Ganshert Ganshert won a Christie Award in 2015. Sometimes everything you ever learned about yourself is wrong. Fashion is a fickle industry, a frightening fact for 24-year-old model Ivy Clark. 10 years in and she's learned a sacred truth: appearance is everything. Nobody cares about her broken past as long as she looks beautiful for the camera. This is the only life Ivy knows, so when it starts to unravel, she'll do anything to hold on. Even if that means moving to the quaint island town of Greenbrier, South Carolina, to be the new face of her stepmother's bridal wear line, an irony too rich for words since Ivy is far from the pure bride in white. If only her tenuous future didn't rest in the hands of Davis Knight, her mysterious new photographer. Meant to Be Mine by Becky Wade won an INSPE Award in 2015. Ty Porter has always been irresistible to Celia Park, all through high school irresistible. When their paths cross again after college, still irresistible. This time though, Ty seems to feel exactly the same way about Celia. Their whirlwind romance deposits them at a street corner Las Vegas wedding chapel. The next morning they wake to a marriage certificate and a dose of cold reality. Celia's ready to be Ty's wife, but Ty's not ready to be her husband. He's a professional bull rider, he lives on the road, and he's long planned to settle down with the hometown girl he's known since childhood. 5.5 years pass. Celia's buried her dreams so that she can afford to raise her daughter. Ty's achieved all of his goals, or thought he had, until he looks again into the eyes of the woman he couldn't forget, and into the face of the child he never knew he had. The Wishing Season by Denise Hunter won a Carol Award in 2015. Living side by side, a fledgling chef and a big-hearted contractor find a delicious attraction. Trouble is their chemistry could spoil their dreams. Spirited PJ McKinley has the touch when it comes to food. Her dream of opening her own restaurant is just one building short of reality. So when a Chapel Springs resident offers her beloved ancestral home to the applicant with the best plan for the house, PJ believes it's a contest she was meant to win. Contractor Cole Evans is confident, professional and swoon-worthy, but this former foster kid knows his life could have turned out very differently. When Cole discovers the contest, he believes his home for foster kids in transition has found its saving grace. All he has to do is convince the owner that an out-of-towner with a not-for-profit enterprise is good for the community. Second Chance Summer by Irene Hannon won a Carol Award in 2015 as a short novel. When Rachel Shaw and Jack Fletcher meet on a sunny Georgia beach, it seems like the perfect start to a romance. There's just one problem. Neither one is the least bit interested in falling in love. They're just looking for peace and time to work through their losses. But Rachel's Aunt Eleanor and Fletcher's Gram have other plans. Their meddling matchmaking would drive Rachel and Fletch nuts if they weren't busy restoring a house for one of Gram's charities. An October Bride by Katie Ganshert won a Carol Award for a novella in 2015. She wants to make her father's dream come true. She doesn't realise her own dream has been in front of her the whole time. Emma Tate isn't a risk taker, so everyone in her small Midwest town is surprised when she suddenly becomes engaged to lifelong friend Jake Sawyer. No one but Jake and Emma know the true reason they're getting married, so Emma's dying father can walk her down the aisle. While Jake and Emma plan an autumn wedding together, it becomes clear that their agreement has a few complications, the biggest being their true feelings for each other. And finally, Barefoot Summer by Denise Hunter won an INSPE Award in 2014. Madison's heart closed the day her twin brother died. Since losing her twin, Michael, in a drowning incident, Madison has rejected the faith he lived by. Instead, she's devoted her life to fulfilling Michael's dream, winning the River Sail Regatta in their small Indiana town, Chapel Springs. As she trains for the regatta, Beckett O'Reilly is teaching Madison to swim, but he's keeping a painful secret from her, and as they grow closer, that secret threatens to upend their lives and the lives of both their families. So have you read any of those books? Can you recommend do any of those stand out as books you'd like to read in the future? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope you are having a really great reading week, and until next time, God bless. Bye.